Nestled just a few kilometers east of the well-known Thirukadaiyur Temple lies a hidden sanctuary. Quiet, humble, and yet immensely powerful. This is the Brahmapureeswarar Temple of Thirukadaiyur Mayanam. At first glance, it may not boast towering gopurams or vast courtyards, but what it holds is far more timeless. A tale of cosmic destruction and divine wisdom, of legends carved into stone and centuries of silent devotion. The name Mayanam itself means cremation ground. And here, legend tells us, Lord Shiva burned the ego of Brahma, the creator god, reducing him to ashes. But this was not merely an act of divine wrath. In the stillness that followed, Shiva chose to revive Brahma and, more profoundly, imparted to him the supreme knowledge of creation. Thus, the temple earned its sacred identity as Thirumayanam, the place of divine wisdom. Here, Shiva became Brahmapureeswarar, the Lord who teaches the Creator himself. This temple is not just a site of myth, it is a living page from history. It stands among the 275 sacred Shiva temples praised in the Tevaram hymns by the Tamil Saivite saints Sambandar, Appar and Sundarar. These verses, sung over 1,000 years ago, continue to echo through its stone corridors. They tell us of Shiva seated on Nandi, adorned with kondrai flowers and the crescent moon, surrounded by celestial beings and sages. Over the centuries, kings and commoners alike have sought blessings here. Chola inscriptions carved into the temple walls mention land grants, Vedic rituals, and even the gifting of temple gardens. One sculpture even depicts a Chola king, hands folded in worship, standing in eternal reverence before the deity. The temple as we see it today owes much to the Cholas, with later contributions by the Vijayanagara rulers. Its last major consecration was held in 2014, a quiet reaffirmation of its living legacy. Step through its gateways, and you find a structure that is both intimate and profound. Unlike grander temples with towering outer gateways, Brahmapureeswarar Temple welcomes devotees through a modest three-tiered gopuram tucked inside its western-facing walls, a rare architectural choice among Shiva temples. Within, the sanctum rests in quiet dignity. The Shiva Linga, believed to be Swayambhu or self-manifested, sits serene and powerful. Before him stands the goddess Malarkudal Minnamai, whose name evokes images of jasmine blossoms and gentle grace. The walls are carved with the divine assembly, Dakshinamurti as the cosmic teacher, Lingodbhava bursting forth from fire, Bhairava, the fierce protector, and Nataraja in mid-dance. Each figure, though still, seems to breathe with story and purpose. One cannot help but notice Ganapati here, depicted unusually with a flattened belly, his form known as Pranava Vinayaka. Legend holds that he bowed so deeply to hear Shiva's teachings that his body itself changed in posture. And then there's Murugan, Singaravelar, carved with bow and spear, sandals on his feet, and the look of a warrior poised for battle. His presence is not ornamental. He is the guardian of a legend, a witness to devotion, and, perhaps, a god who once fought for a king. The temple is a gallery of time. Stone pillars rise like frozen music, some shaped like bat wings, curling at their edges, others etched with mythic beasts, saints, and celestial flora. The ceilings arch with quiet beauty, and the very floor, worn smooth by centuries of footsteps, reflects the faith that flows through this sacred space. Beyond stone and sculpture, the temple beats with life through its festivals. In the Tamil month of Aipasi, during Skanda Shashti, the air resounds with drums and devotion as Singaravelar takes his celestial march. In Kartigai, the temple becomes a haven of lights, lamps glowing like stars to honor Shiva's eternal flame. Margaji brings Tiruvatirai, the dance of Shiva, as hymns rise with the morning mists. And then comes Mahashivaratri, the great night of Shiva. Devotees stay awake in prayer, pouring milk and honey over the linga, whispering mantras through the silence of midnight. Each ritual becomes an offering of soul and self. But perhaps the most sacred of all comes during Panguni, on the star Ashwini. On this day, the temple reenacts a divine descent. Deities are carried in procession to the temple's sacred well, Asvathi Kinaru. There, in a ritual echoing the heavens, the water is drawn, bathed in, and shared. This is no ordinary well. It is said that Shiva himself brought the Ganges here for sage Markandeya's puja. Even now, water from this well is sent daily to the main Thirukadaiyur Temple, a quiet bond between the two shrines. On that day, believers say, the waters rise a little higher and shimmer just a bit brighter, as if the Ganga herself has returned.
But Brahmapureeswarar's blessings are not bound only to the calendar. This is a temple of parihara, of remedies and relief. Those afflicted by ancestral curses, astrological afflictions, or karmic debts come here seeking solace. Those troubled by marital issues, delays in childbirth, or academic challenges light lamps, offer prayers, and whisper hopes into the quiet sanctum. Here, Shiva is not just the cosmic destroyer. He is the teacher, the healer, the gentle father. In this space, sins melt, burdens lift, and the soul feels seen. Even kings are said to have found healing here. One Chola monarch, struck with leprosy, bathed in the temple's well and emerged whole. Another scholar, tormented by the sin of Brahmahatya, found redemption in a single night of prayer. The temple's uniqueness lies also in its subtleties. Murugan, armed and ready. Ganapati, humbled in posture. Dakshinamurti, with not 4 but 6 disciples, each listening intently. The one-eared Nandi, forever leaning toward the Lord. Every image here tells a tale, every stone a silent witness. And then there are the stories passed down in whispers. A king named Imakaridan, lost in defeat, found salvation at this very shrine. Murugan, in disguise, is said to have led him to victory. In gratitude, the king granted 53 acres to the temple, lands still known as Singaraveli. Farmers tilling those fields still speak the name with quiet pride. There's the story of the crow-cursed Brahmin, freed by prayer, of the devotee who lived as a snake, shedding his form in bliss at Shiva's feet, of Pambati Siddhar, one of Tamil Nadu's revered mystics, said to have meditated here, his chants echoing with the night winds. In all of these tales, in all of these carvings, in every flicker of the temple lamp, one truth endures. Brahmapureeswarar watches over. He who once burned Brahma, only to raise him again and gift him with wisdom, still sits in silent grace, ready to bless. As the sun dips low and the sky softens to dusk, the chants grow quieter. Devotees step out, heads bowed, hearts lighter. The breeze carries the scent of jasmine and camphor. Somewhere, a bell chimes. And behind the temple walls, the ancient linga rests in peace. In this temple, history breathes, myth lives, and divinity is just a little closer. For those who come seeking, whether knowledge, healing, or simply a moment of grace, Brahmapureeswarar waits, timeless and true.
As we step away from the sacred grounds of Thirukadaiyur Mayanam, we carry with us more than just memories. We carry the quiet echo of devotion, the weight of stories carved into stone, and the subtle presence of a divine teacher who once whispered the secrets of creation. In this unassuming shrine, time slows, and something ancient stirs. Here, Shiva is not just worshipped, he is experienced as knowledge, as mercy, as silence, and as the fire that both ends and begins. For the seeker, this temple is a mirror. It reflects not only mythology, but also the human journey of ego, of transformation, of learning, and of return. Whether you come with burdens to shed, wisdom to seek, or simply to be still, Brahmapureeswarar of Thirukadaiyur Mayanam welcomes you with the same eternal grace. In his presence, we are reminded, even in the smallest of sanctums, the vastness of the cosmos can dwell.